Hey, so I was looking for a tutorial on Hey Diddle by Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney, but I couldn't find a good one, so I just figured I'd listen to it and try to figure it out on my own and make a tutorial that was a little bit more comprehensive, I guess. There was one that I found and it was good for the chords, but it wasn't for the finger picking that Paul does, which he's really good at, and he puts in a lot of his songs. So I figured I would try my best to work it out. So this is a little demo in the beginning. Hey diddle, won't you back? Diddle, won't you back? And then the bridge part or whatever it's called. So I kind of messed up a couple times, but it's whatever. I'm gonna get a little bit more in depth into the chords. So it kind of starts. It's kind of the Hey Diddle part specifically is based around an E chord with a capo on the first fret. By the way, sorry, I forgot to mention that capo on the first fret. I know that in the acoustic version that Paul and Linda do, Paul has his guitar, but he's playing without a capo, and so I'm assuming he tuned up a half step, which is crazy that he can press all the frets like that with the high tension and everything, moving everything around with his fingers. It's crazy. I'm not going to do that. But basically, it starts with an E chord, except on the E string, you're pressing down the fourth fret for that hey. We'll figure out the melody first, actually. So hey, E fourth fret, hey, and then two pull off to zero, and then a two pull off on the B string. So hey diddle diddle I want you back. So after the pull off on the B, you press down back on the B on the second fret and then open E. So hey diddle I want you back, and then you do two pull off to zero on the B string. Diddle I want you back. Sorry, first fret. So 2-0, 2-0, 2-1, which is a lot easier to play without thinking about, because you're really just playing the E chord with your pinky moving around on right here, like, so you got your E chord and then your pinky's on this fret and that fret, and you're basically just playing the open two. And it doesn't sound as basic once you get and it's not as hard to play once you get the actual the strumming down. So really what's going on is the basic, like Blackbird type McCartney acoustic without, when he doesn't play with a pick, because sometimes he plays with a pick to get really strummy sound, but basically any other time he's using these two fingers and that's it. So he'll pluck two strings, so two strings down, two strings, and then with his first finger he'll go down, up, and then he'll press the bass, and then he uses the first finger to go up, down. So it's kind of a do 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 do. And you can think about Blackbird if you really need to get it down, like do 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 do, to get that little rhythm. And sometimes he'll do the bass bouncing on the fifth, like that. So to make it kind of easy, you play the E chord. This is basically the hardest part of the song, when the pinky stretch on the first note. So kind of just flick with your first finger a couple times. So da diddle, hey diddle, diddle, I want you back. Diddle, I want you back. So I guess I can do like a close-up of this hand to really figure out what's going on in that part, in that bit, because I already covered the chords, so it's kind of... So with when all the pull-offs and hammer-ons are going on, you're kind of just flicking with this finger, and then occasionally you're hitting the bass, just kind of when you do the pluck rather than the flicking. I guess that's pretty much that bit covered, and then there's the little bridge or whatever. I don't know. I'm not good with music terms, but it starts on an E7 because it's, you know, the other part's an E, so the E7 kind of puts you off in the distance. You're kind of like nice and at home here in the key of E, and then so it's good songwriting, as Paul usually can do, because this song, amazing, it's perfect, I love it. The lyrics are a little goofy, but otherwise I love it. But it's the E7, and it's kind of that same double down up bass up down, double down up bass up down, that whole rhythm. And so it's oh, don't be. Now I've seen a lot of chord charts that say it's A and then A7, E7, so A, and then you just take off the middle of the 3 that you're playing for the A7, and then back to E7, and then to A. But what I hear, especially on the acoustic version that they do in the farm in Scotland, I hear no, that note. It's like, oh, my love isn't strong, or oh, my love isn't strong. So what I think he's doing is, I think he's playing an A chord with that, with the E string pressed down on the 5th fret, because then that becomes the A note, and so then you have an A with an A note on top for the A chord, and then to the A7, I think he brings this one down for the 3rd fret, the G, for the A7. That's what I hear, at least, especially on this acoustic version. I can't quite tell on the studio version, but it's just what I hear. So it kind of goes that same rhythm the whole time through of this little part. E7, A, and then you move your thumb down onto the A string rather than on the E string, because the other parts, E, you're just kind of keeping your bass on E, but in this part, since it goes to A, you can move your thumb down to the A string. So, oh, don't be late the next time around. So A, A7, back to E7. So you start on E7, you go up to A, A7, E7, and then oh, can't be long. You can go to A or this A. Which I think this A makes more sense because once we get back into the verse, so that's the top note, and then you go hey, because these are so close. It's like the little melody. I think. And I'll play through that second part real quick. Oh, don't be late the next time around. She'll be there. Hey, diddle one. And it just kind of leads in, but there's that little part. So after the final A chord, it kind of goes dun dun dun. Which you can play if you want, or you can just not play, because I think it's a bass drum, or it's them stomping their feet or something. Or you can simulate it by tapping the guitar. Whatever you want to do, really. There's no wrong answers in music unless you're playing it wrong, I guess. Like, my only pet peeve is people playing like fingerstyle Blackbird. I don't really like it that much. Rather than the but otherwise, that's my tutorial. If you have any questions, you can ask, I guess. It's just for anybody like me who couldn't quite figure it out and had to really listen extensively, and I just thought it'd make it easier for people if they just had a tutorial where they could at least see somebody playing it and see close up and maybe have an idea of what to do, or at least a starting point on where to go off. Because once you learn this, the rhythm and where your fingers should go and the melody for something, it becomes very intuitive to figure out like a Paul McCartney song, like on acoustic. Like I did the same with Mama's Little Girl, which is like but otherwise, thanks for watching. That was my tutorial for Hey Diddle by Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney.